been more than a month, but Sami Zayn is here.
It hasn't felt right without him.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sami Zayn.
Braves, what has Sami Zayn gone through mentally the last month? How much is what happened to him at TakeOver Rival eaten away at his very core?
He lost more than the NXT Championship. He lost a best friend. I can only imagine what Sami's mindset's been. He hasn't returned my calls, my texts, nothing. I'm curious to see what he has to say tonight.
Well, it's good to be back. Thank you. Thank you. So I was away, and some of you may know I was overseas in Abu Dhabi. And it was great. It was a great tour, and I was happy to be there. And, you know, I had a lot of time to think, and I realized the timing was interesting as for, you know, when I had to go, leaving a lot of questions unanswered and a lot of concerns. And while I should have been thinking in that time about how great it was to be in Abu Dhabi or how great it was to wrestle in front of my people, you know, yeah, oh yeah, it should have been great, but the truth is the only thing that was on my mind was Kevin Owens. And I realized something. I realized that the Kevin Owens that I was in the ring with at TakeOver at Rival was not the same Kevin Owens that I got in the ring with 2 years ago or for the 10 years before that. He is a different guy. And I don't just mean in terms of his ability or what he can do in the ring. I mean as a person, as a human being. I looked in his eyes and I saw something that I haven't seen before, but it's fine. It's fine because now I've seen it. And I get it. And I know exactly what I'm dealing with. And so I've had a lot of time to think and a lot of time to formulate a plan. And here is my plan. Well, first of all, obviously, I'm going to use my rematch and recapture my NXT Championship. And at the very top of that list, number one on the priority list is kick Kevin Owens' ass.
Now, while Sami Zayn has a rematch with NXT champion Kevin Owens on his mind tonight, the Lucha Dragons have a chance to get back in the NXT Tag Team title picture. They square off against Blake and Murphy, the NXT Tag Team champions. What a matchup that'll be tonight on NXT.
But after that, this one is just straight personal. After a confrontation in the locker room saw Emma smack the taste out of Bayley's mouth, these two divas will lock up and try to settle the score tonight on NXT.
And look who it is, Rhino is here.
I could not be more excited.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Detroit, Michigan, weighing 295 pounds, Rhino.
This guy has caused quite the stir since debuting here at NXT. He's been around and is a very, very popular competitor here with the NXT Universe, isn't he?
High impact personified. I am stoked that the man beast is in NXT. Unfortunately, I don't think his opponent's very excited about anything.
Well, not wasting any time, Rhino, my goodness! Throwing his opponent clear across the ring.
The NXT Universe knows what's next.
Rhino lining him up, there it is, the gore!
Rhino said he's here to rekindle his career, and he's definitely off to a good start.
Look at this, Rhino nearly tearing his opponent in half with that gore.
I've seen it a million times, and I could watch it a million more. Gore, gore, gore.
There it is again. Rhino tearing apart his opponent.
I came to NXT to make a statement. I came here for the NXT Championship. What do you want? Do you hear that? Sami Zayn, Finn Balor, and you, Kevin Owens. It doesn't matter who gets in my way, because the end result will be the same. You will be ripped in half with a gore, gore, gore.
Rich, I don't think it gets any more straightforward than that.
The entire NXT universe being put on notice by Rhino.
We all have moments. Moments where we surpass our own expectations. Sometimes these moments are small, and sometimes they're larger than life. Because there's something great in all of us. Something that connects us, that inspires us. It's why when we fall, we get up again. It's why we give back. And we don't give up. It's what makes all of us, in our own way, heroes. WWE, for the hero in all of us.
Away at perfection every single day.
I can help you to escape.
I mean, this body is sculpted into what I want it to become. But you see, these results, they don't happen overnight. What you see is what you get.
Well, it won't be long now until Dana Brooke makes her NXT debut, but Corey, right now, let's go back to last week's main event, which saw #1 contender Finn Balor challenge Kevin Owens for the NXT title.
This one was as advertised. It lived up to the hype. Two warriors doing battle over the richest prize in NXT. What a match it was.
And Owens, using his unrelenting style, controlled the majority of the match. We thought that Finn Balor found an opening right here, but came crashing down hard on the entrance ramp and appeared to injure his knee.
Ultimately, the injured knee would prove the downfall of Finn Balor. He came within seconds, multiple times, of becoming NXT champion, but in the end, Kevin Owens and his relentless nature was too much.
Right here, Finn Balor connecting with the coup de grace, but that injured knee again coming into play, unable to make the cover, which provided the opening for Owens.
Lights out.
Kevin Owens retaining the NXT Championship over Finn Balor. The question now is,
Here is your winner.
who is next in line to face Owens, and when will Sami Zayn get his opportunity?
I won. That's all that matters. All that matters is nobody's taking this away. Nobody. Not Finn Balor. Not Sami Zayn.
quite the challenge last week, but right now we head to Divas action. What a matchup this will be. Bayley set to go one-on-one with Emma. How much does Bayley want to get her hands on Emma after what happened last week? Emma slapping Bayley right across the face in the locker room.
We've seen a new Bayley in recent months. She's got a, I don't want to say a mean streak.
The following contest is a Divas match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first from San Jose, California, it's Bayley.
JoJo wouldn't interrupt me. I can finish my thought. We've seen a bit of a mean streak or a more aggressive side of Bayley that serves her very well. And then Emma comes back to NXT. She hasn't been here in a while, and the first thing she does is smack Bayley in the face. I gotta imagine Bayley's got some bad things in store for Emma.
Well, it was a couple of weeks ago when Emma returned here to NXT that, I mean, she hasn't been shy in kind of poking some fun at Bayley.
Oh, these
And
bubbles.
her opponent from Melbourne, Australia, Emma.
Emma basically called out Bayley, telling her, number one, she should have been in the championship matchup after Bayley asked her if she wanted to go watch the match, but then basically told her, hey, you run around here hugging everybody, you're too friendly. Look at how well that worked out for me on Raw and SmackDown.
And she's still doing that walk, and there's bubbles. I gotta wonder if maybe Emma shouldn't take her own advice.
Yeah, but I mean, look at the body language. This is a much different Emma. I mean, she's almost mocking herself.
Lord knows I spent enough time mocking her in my life.
She certainly turned a page here. Talk about Bayley finding that aggressive streak. Emma has certainly found a different side of herself.
What's Emma doing right now? I mean, she's taking it lightly. She slapped Bayley in the face. I know Emma thinks she was doing her some sort of backhanded favor, but you don't slap someone in the face.
It almost looks like Emma doesn't take Bayley seriously.
I hope Emma's been paying attention because Bayley is absolutely to be taken seriously.
Can we just say, I love you, Bubbles? I think so. I wonder if Emma has a point, though, for Bayley. How far are hugs and friendship and bracelets and bubbles and wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tubing gonna get you?
She's got a valid point. I mean, maybe Emma's heart is in the right place, but I think she went about it the wrong way. Bayley feels disrespected. She feels insulted.
This ought to be an interesting matchup. We know what a technically gifted competitor Emma is.
And the same can be said about Bayley. Numerous times, both of these women have come within an eyelash of becoming the NXT Women's Champion.
Certainly when you talk about who's on a roll or who has the momentum. Oh! Bayley has certainly had more success as of late than Emma, but take nothing away from Emma. She's had success here. Look at this, leg sweep, cover, and a kick out. In her time on the main roster, certainly taught her a thing or two. Bayley going for the victory. And a power out by Emma. Big clothesline.
What is going through Emma's mind right now? I mean, we've always known she's a few fries short of a Happy Meal, but this is just bizarre to watch.
I think you might have said it best. It's almost a backhanded favor.
I just want to know who Emma thinks she is, coming back down here to NXT, calling out Bayley as though Bayley needs some sort of help. Bayley's been doing just fine for herself recently.
Oh! Emma urging Bayley, bring it out. Bring out that nasty side. This truly is bizarre. And Bayley getting fired up.
Listen to me, Bayley. Back off, all right? Back off.
Oh! Oh, look out. Here comes Bayley. Oh! Emma dodging out of the way. And look out. The Emma lock. Oh, no. Bayley tied up in the corner. There it is, the Emma-mite sandwich.
The what?
That's what it's called. It's the Emma-mite sandwich. Cover. And look at this reversal. Bayley for the victory. And that's it.
Here is your winner, Bayley.
Lack of respect shown by Emma, and Bayley made her pay.
Bayley looks as confused as I am right now. Well, if Emma was here to motivate Bayley, I mean, I guess she did her job. Bayley just beat her. Isn't that what she wanted?
Bayley victorious here tonight, and talking about looking confused. Emma looks a little confused, doesn't
She
she?
looks like she needs a hug. Maybe Bayley should come back.
Becky, you requested this time to address the
Yeah,
NXT
I did
Universe.
request this time. Devin, did you see TakeOver? Did you see TakeOver? Did you see the Fatal 4-Way? Did you see that I was this close to winning the title? Did you see that I would have won if it wasn't for that hug tug Bayley? Now, everybody else, Devin, has gotten their title opportunities. Bayley has gotten her singles title opportunity. Charlotte, everyone knows, has had her run in the sun. Even Alexa Bliss, NXT's resident bleeding beauty, has had her title opportunity. And why hasn't Becky Lynch had her shot? I've proved what I could do time and time again, and I came from Ireland for one reason and one reason only, and that is to become the NXT Women's Champion. Now, Sasha Banks, she's not that bad, but she's certainly not this good. And that is my title. This is my empire, and there is no one that is better than me. So welcome, Devin. Welcome, everyone, to NXT.
Oh, whatever alliance there was between Sasha and Becky appears to be over and done with Lynch, putting the champ on notice. Oh, still to come, the Lucha Dragons get a rematch with Blake and Murphy. Are the champs focused on their challengers, or are they too wrapped up with trying to get Carmella's attention? That matchup is next.
WWE Network's most talked about original special.
Are you giving the crowd what they want? You can't deny the behind the scenes.
Returns, but this time,
podcast is
Jericho! One of the most outspoken superstars in WWE history brings his podcast to WWE Network, and his guest, the new WWE United States Champion, John Cena. Live with Chris Jericho. Special guest John Cena. Live this Monday immediately following Raw. Exclusively on WWE Network.
Welcome back to NXT, and we are set for tag team action here tonight, and there they are. The NXT Tag Team Champions, Blake and Murphy.
The following contest is a tag team match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first at a combined weight of 465 pounds, they're the NXT Tag Team Champions, Blake and Murphy.
Blake and Murphy shocking the NXT Universe by defeating the Lucha Dragons a couple of months ago for the NXT Tag Team titles, and then successfully defending the championships at TakeOver Rival. These guys almost came out of nowhere, Graves.
They came out of nowhere, but they've certainly silenced all of the doubters. Blake and Murphy are for real. They are to be taken seriously, and they continue to prove that each time we see them.
Well, in recent weeks, Blake and Murphy have been in a budding rivalry with Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy. In the meantime, trying to get the attention of Carmella.
And their opponents got a combined weight of 370 pounds, Kalisto, Sin Cara, the Lucha Dragon.
And while Blake and Murphy have been trying to get the attention of Carmella, and I don't blame them, the Lucha Dragons have been tearing it up on the main roster. They've had success on Superstars, main event. They're making their waves in the WWE Tag Team division, but it would be just as important to come here and have success against the NXT Tag Champs.
No doubt about it. Kalisto and Sin Cara and turning heads. Set on Superstars and main event. A couple of victories over the Ascension. Certainly making their claim on the main roster. Perhaps take a run at Tyson Kidd and Cesaro for the WWE Tag Team titles, but with an opportunity here tonight to get back in the picture against Blake and Murphy for the NXT Tag Team Championship. So do you think Blake and Murphy are overlooking Kalisto and Sin Cara, seeing that they've already beat them twice in recent months?
Absolutely not. That's what makes Blake and Murphy successful. They don't overlook anybody. They themselves were overlooked in the past, and they made everybody pay for it. They don't make that mistake.
And it is Kalisto starting things off against Wesley Blake. Blake in action last week against Colin Cassidy as NXT was on the road in Columbus. We saw what the fallout of that was. Carmella going flying off the ring.
It was unfortunate. Thankfully, she's okay.
And Kalisto trying to take control of this match, but look out from behind. Now both the tag team champs on the outside. And hold on here. Look at that teamwork.
Wow.
Kalisto holding the ropes open while Sin Cara with a diving clothesline.
These two teams have done battle. This is the third time now. Obviously, Kalisto and Sin Cara have learned from the past experiences. Can they overcome? We'll find out.
Look at Kalisto.
What a moonsault.
The moonsault taken out. Blake and Murphy on the outside. Well, Sin Cara, the legal man now. Apparently a tag was made that we missed.
There's so much action going on, I can't blame it.
Tag made it now. Kalisto back in there. Let's take another look at that moonsault.
Thing of beauty. Kalisto taking out both Blake and Murphy. The Lucha Dragons are in control.
We saw how detrimental it was for the Lucha Dragons, maybe looking past Blake and Murphy. Maybe not. Oh,
wow. That was impressive.
Again, holding the ropes open. We've seen both teams do that in this matchup.
This is what I like about Blake and Murphy. It seems like every week we see them, they improve a little more. They learn a few more tricks.
You think the whole thing with Carmella is them actually going after Carmella? Is quick cover and a kick out trying to get her attention? Or is it more mind games trying to get Enzo and Cass off of their focus?
Personally speaking, I hope it's just a mind game.
Quick cover again. Blake trying to put away Kalisto in a kick out.
We all know how much time I spent trying to get Carmella's attention, so maybe it's just a mind game. Could be something more, but...
Blake in control here, Kalisto. Trying to get back to his feet. Get to his corner, but...
That's what I'm talking about, those little moves. Maybe they're bending the rules, and we've seen Kevin Owens have a great deal of success with that. Blake and Murphy find a little opening, and they make the best of it.
How angry do you think Enzo and Cass are after what happened last week to Carmella?
I'm sure that with all very good reason, they absolutely should be angry. I try to pay very little attention to Enzo Amore because he never stops talking, so I can't tell when he's angry, when he's excited. The guy's eyes always look like they're going to bug out of his skull.
In recent weeks, we've seen Blake and Murphy. They even went as far to give Carmella a gift. Looked like a diamond bracelet.
It was beautiful. You should try giving a woman a gift once or twice, Rich. It works out pretty well sometimes.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for that advice. Appreciate that. Right now, Kalisto needs to get to his corner and make a tag to Sin Cara. The NXT Tag Team Champions Blake and Murphy in control in this matchup here on NXT. Just a week removed from the festivities of WrestleMania.
I'm still recovering.
Hey, you're a pretty busy guy on the kickoff show, all the different events at Access. Look at Kalisto trying to get fired up here. Hang on. Whoop. Whoop, cover. Kalisto for the victory and a power out. Ooh, wow. That clothesline connected, laced in by Wesley Blake, tag made, and here's Buddy Murphy. Oh! That could be enough. Hook of the leg, and Kalisto able to work his way out of the pinfall.
That's what I love about Buddy Murphy. Everything he does is so intense, so high impact. Even this rear chin lock right now. Look at how much exertion he's putting on the head and neck of Kalisto.
Kalisto desperately trying to find a way to get to his corner. No. Shortcuts. You talked about the shortcuts, Graves. Whoop. There goes Kalisto, tag made, and now Sin Cara.
Flying headbutt.
Sin Cara quickening the pace. Springboard, crossbody. Sin Cara again.
Could be it.
Moonsault off the second rope, hook of the leg and a kick out. Frustration of the Lucha Dragons maybe starting to set in. How much would a victory mean for them here tonight? Could potentially put them right back in line for an opportunity at the tag team titles. Huge kick by Sin Cara.
Wesley Blake's in a bad situation.
To the top rope.
Sorry, Buddy Murphy was. Wesley Blake was in a great situation.
Whoop. Referee with his attention turned to Kalisto.
Blake with a right hand right across the jaw of Sin Cara.
Hang on.
And the ref didn't see any of it.
Tag made. Running vertical suplex, and here comes Wesley Blake. Frog splash from the top, and that is all.
Here are your winners, the NXT Tag Team Champions, Blake and Murphy.
Let's take another look at this.
Referee was distracted by Kalisto. Wesley Blake in the right place at the right time with a right hand to the jaw of Sin Cara.
Tag made, and the vertical suplex, frog splash. You don't have to like how they did it, but Blake and Murphy victorious here tonight in tag team competition on NXT.
Sammy, earlier tonight you mentioned your return from Abu Dhabi and the plans you have for the future. Can you tell us a little bit more about?
In case you weren't paying attention, let me make my intentions clear. I didn't come to NXT to wait in line or earn a spot. In other words, I don't care about your personal vendettas. See, because the line for the NXT title starts behind me. Sammy, it starts behind me.
Rhino staking a claim in the hunt for the NXT Championship, Graves, but later tonight, Prince Pretty and Hideo Itami battle in a 2 out of 3 falls match.
These two do not like each other. We've known that. That's no secret. Maybe the score finally gets settled tonight.
You're on a mission. That mission ain't gonna be complete until I'm NXT champion. You've been warned.
Solomon Crowe has arrived here in NXT.
Very, very unique and unorthodox style.
What a way to burst on the scene. And now we return to your regularly scheduled broadcast.
Now, Solomon Crowe certainly making waves since he's debuted in NXT, but right now, Graves, you talked about a grudge match. Ty Dillinger getting set for action.
The contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first from Niagara Falls, Canada, weighing 225 pounds, Ty Dillinger.
In a matchup here against Jason Jordan. Dillinger and Jordan were tag team partners until several weeks ago, and Jason Jason Jordan walked out on Ty Dillinger.
Yeah, but it was Ty Dillinger's fault. Ty Dillinger tagged himself in. He wouldn't tag Jordan in. They lost the match as a result. These are two blue chip athletes, two guys with very bright futures. Jordan got tired of it. He felt that Dillinger was weighing him down. He wants to do things on his own.
And his opponent from Chicago, Illinois, weighing 245 pounds, Jason Jordan.
Jordan and Dillinger were a tag team for quite some time here in NXT, but Corey could never really seem to get on the same page and get on a roll.
Absolutely, and Jason Jordan is a competitor, a natural-born competitor. He wants to be the best. He felt Dillinger didn't have the same interests, so he's doing it on his own, and I have high hopes and high expectations for Jason Jordan. An absolute physical specimen, a very, very intelligent human being, and an unbelievable athlete.
Talk to Jason Jordan, says he considers himself to be highly competitive no matter what it is that he's doing, whether it's in the ring or even something as simple as playing video games.
This isn't a video game. Ty Dillinger actually hits back.
Oh.
Apparently Ty Dillinger's been seeing Enzo Amore's barber.
Oh! Big spear in the corner by Jason Jordan. Apparently right now he means business.
The strength of Jordan.
A very well accomplished amateur wrestler. Jordan putting those skills to use here tonight against Dillinger.
Oh! It seems like Jordan's found that aggression he's been lacking.
Cover, Jordan for the victory. And a kick out by Dillinger.
He's always a competitor, but he maybe hasn't been able to put it all together. In recent weeks, I've seen him training harder than ever in the gym, training extra hours in the ring at the Performance Center. Jordan is ready to make a statement in front of the NXT universe.
Certainly looks like Jordan has added some size here in recent months. All that time and... You hear that?
Rich, you weren't paying any attention to what I was saying.
Well, I was. I'm punctuating the point. He's added quite a bit of size. That time in the gym's paid off.
Absolutely. He's a freakish athlete. I've seen this guy do amazing things in a weight room. Actually quit working out as a result.
You could hear moments ago Jordan yelling at Dillinger, "You're nothing without me."
As it looks right now, Jordan's got a very valid point. Dillinger hasn't been able to mount much of any sort of offense tonight.
A reminder, these two better off, split apart?
I don't know if both of them are. I believe Jason Jordan might be.
Oh. Dillinger, look out. Shoulders are down and Jason Jordan stays alive. Oh. Take nothing away from Ty Dillinger. He's a guy that knows his way around the ring.
You're absolutely right. What a chop.
Comes to technical prowess. Dillinger certainly has quite the pedigree.
Would you consider that a side Canadian leg sweep since Dillinger's from Canada?
Yeah, I probably am.
Okay.
Trained with Lance Storm originally. He's competed around the globe. He's just looking for that one thing to get him on a roll here at NXT. Perhaps a victory tonight over Jason Jordan is that. Oh, wow. There's the impressive strength of Jason Jordan turning the tide. Jordan again. Oh! Talking about the amateur background. Look at that. Hook of the leg, Jordan for the victory. And that's it.
Here's your winner, Jason Jordan.
If you were questioning whether or not Jason Jordan made the right career decision by flying solo, I think you just got your answer.
Jason Jordan making a claim in singles competition against his former tag team partner Ty Dillinger. Jordan victorious tonight. While still to come, the heated rivalry between Hideo Itami and Tyler Breeze reaches new heights in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Let's take a look now at the issues that have led to this historic matchup.
We are 2 weeks removed from NXT TakeOver Rival.
Tyler Breeze has been a thorn in Hideo's side for long enough, and Hideo made a statement with an impressive victory.
Now Hideo Itami has Bull Dempsey on his hands. Drop kick in the corner.
Tommy's fired up.
Oh, and the flying drop kick, the cover on Dempsey, and Hideo is on a roll here on NXT. Oh my God!
Where did Breeze come from?
Hideo Itami. Did you really think that you got one over on me? I don't really see it that way. I think of it more like you fell right into my trap. And soon enough, you're gonna be squished in it, like the little cockroach that you are.
Breeze is in trouble. Here comes Itami.
That could have been the world's nastiest photo bomb right there by Itami.
Some unfinished business from TakeOver Rival.
Look at Itami. He is fired up. He's had enough of Tyler Breeze.
Now the fact that it's me and you one-on-one, it's time for you to find out that the King of Cuteville is not just a pretty face.
Tyler Breeze back at Hideo Itami into the corner.
These two have been at each other's throats since before TakeOver.
Breeze believes he should have had the spotlight at TakeOver Rival, not this man. Itami going up to the top rope. Breeze uses the ropes.
Tyler Breeze is being very clever.
Tommy's starting to find his legs here against Breeze. And missed with the drop kick. Oh, the beauty shot. Tyler Breeze has beaten Itami.
The King of Cuteville is on his throne where he belongs.
It didn't have to come to this. It didn't have to get ugly. Well, considering you were in it, I guess it did have to get ugly.
It is time for our main event here tonight on NXT. Corey Graves, we are set for a treat. A 2 out of 3 falls matchup. Tyler Breeze and Hideo Itami.
Is it my eyes when you look at me?
The following contest is a 2 out of 3 falls match. Introducing first currently residing in his musical residence in Rosalie Bay, Dominica, weighing 205 pounds, Tyler Breeze.
Tyler Breeze is out here on a mission tonight. Not only is it to look good, that's always the mission plan, but he is tired of Hideo Itami. The two have split battles back and forth, each man getting the best of one another. Tonight, Tyler Breeze looks to solidify the fact that he is superior to Hideo Itami.
Tyler Breeze and Hideo Itami did battle at TakeOver Rival in February. Itami was the victor that night. Since then, the issues between them have boiled over.
Can you feel the presence?
What would a win tonight mean for Tyler Breeze in the big scheme of things, Graves?
It would mean he is exactly what he says he is, better than Hideo Itami. That's what it boils down to here.
And his opponent from Tokyo, Japan, weighing 180 pounds, Hideo Itami.
Well, after Hideo Itami defeated Tyler Breeze at TakeOver Rival, just about a month later, Breeze was the victor in a one-on-one match. Breeze getting the victory via the beauty shot. I mean, things have just almost spiraled out of control between these two.
Tyler Breeze feels that Hideo came into NXT with undue fanfare. Tyler Breeze is a big star in Japan. NXT is seen there. He feels like Hideo walked in the front door and took his place in the front of the line, and Breeze is sick and tired of it. And he hates Hideo's hair.
Does he really?
Yes.
What's the matter with Hideo's hair?
He said Hideo looks like he cuts his hair with a flow beat. I just dated myself. Most of the people watching don't even know what that is.
Yeah, Google that one. So here we go, 2 out of 3 falls. Graves, what would your strategy be early on in this matchup?
There's a lot of different ways to look at a 2 out of 3 falls match. Some guys want to score that early pinfall, get up 1 fall to none. But then you also want to conserve your energy. You don't want to be in the 3rd round of a match with no energy left because you spend it all at the front end.
How important is it then to get that first fall? Or do you almost give up the first fall?
No, you definitely want that first fall. It's of the utmost importance. You got to score that first fall, keep the momentum rolling. To fight from behind is far more difficult.
NXT Universe, I guess you could say, divided. Breeze's Ratchet almost bringing out the Sasha Banks chance for Breeze.
Yeah, but Tyler Breeze, listen, you may not like him, but you have to respect him. He's been a staple here at NXT for a long time now. The NXT Universe knows what he's capable of as a competitor. You may think, you know, he wears fur, he's wearing hot pink right now, he's a little eccentric, but he's a talented competitor.
And Breeze with the Tommy backed into the corner. Oh! Breeze has certainly dialed up the aggressiveness over several months. After coming out here, you know, he never wanted to be hit in the face before, finally get over that. Not that I think he likes it, but...
You'll never beat me, Hideo!
Our main event tonight on NXT. It's the second 2 out of 3 falls matchup in NXT history. Oh, look out, Hideo Itami charging into Breeze. Oh, Hideo with a knee to the midsection. Fierce kicks by Itami.
Itami, one of the most feared strikers in the business. He gets those hands and feet moving. It's bad news for his opponent.
Here comes Itami. Running drop kick in the corner. Itami lighting up Breeze, shotgun kick.
Could that be it?
Hook of the leg. And Itami victorious in the first fall.
The winner of the first fall, Hideo Itami.
That is massive that Itami got that first fall and he did it in relatively quick fashion. Take another look back. Here's those strikes I was talking about to the rib cage, kicks to the rib cage and the chest.
And then Itami lining up Tyler Breeze. The velocity behind the drop kick in the corner, followed up by the running kick. And the momentum in favor of Hideo Itami. So Corey, what's the strategy now for Tyler Breeze?
Tyler Breeze has to use this little break to maximize his recovery. There's still a lot of match to be had. He needs to figure out something quick. He needs to regain his bearings. Maybe roll out, maybe take a break on the floor for a few seconds.
So Hideo up 1-0 in this 2 out of 3 falls matchup.
What's so pivotal about that first fall is Hideo did it pretty quickly. Look how fresh Hideo looks. Prince Pretty's trying to regain his bearings. Looks like he doesn't even know where he's at right now.
The referee holding Hideo back, and I think rightly so. He wants that.
Oh, beauty shot.
My goodness! Out of nowhere, the beauty shot connects. And we're tied at 1.
The winner of the second fall, Tyler Breeze.
That answered your question. Tyler Breeze outsmarted you, he outsmarted me, he outsmarted Hideo Itami. Playing possum.
Third fall in this 2 out of 3 falls matchup coming up. We are tied at 1.
Looking for a fantastic way to celebrate WrestleMania? Look no further. It's NXT at WrestleMania Access. And this year, the Ultimate Fan experience will be bigger, badder, and brighter than ever before. With exclusive interviews, live matches, autograph signings, and more. And follow the journey of Hideo Itami as he makes his WrestleMania debut in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. NXT at WrestleMania Access. Next Wednesday, 8/7 Central on WWE Network.
Our main event on NXT continues. 2 out of 3 falls matchup. Hideo Itami and Tyler Breeze. We are tied at 1. The winner of this fall, the winner of the matchup. And Tyler Breeze, the winner of the second fall after connecting with a beauty shot from the corner. And Graves, I was just about to say it, that The referee was holding Hideo Itami back, and Breeze took advantage.
Breeze using an old trick. We've seen it.
Whoop, cover here. Is that enough? A kick out by Itami.
It's one of the oldest tricks in the book, playing possum, they call it. He obviously was more recovered than he let the referee know, and Hideo paid for it with the second fall. But we're back at square one now. Essentially, this is a one-on-one match. The next fall,
hook of the leg, Breeze for the victory, and again, Hideo kicks out.
by having this match tied at one fall apiece, we're essentially back at square one. The odds are even. It's a one-on-one matchup now. Whoever can get the first fall will hopefully settle the score.
Let me ask you this, Graves. In your mind, who has more to gain and maybe who has more to lose?
I don't think you could pick one. Both of these superstars are on the cusp of being in the NXT Championship picture. Both of them competed in the #1 Contenders tournament. Whoever walks out of here victorious could be argued is definitely next in line for an opportunity.
Huge drop kick cover, and again a kick out. Yeah, it was the #1 Contenders tournament where some of the issues between these two really started after Hideo Itami beat Tyler Breeze, and then Hideo went on to face Finn Balor, losing to Finn Balor.
Breeze felt it was a wasted opportunity.
Cover again, Breeze for the victory, and again a kick out. Tyler Breeze felt that he could have defeated Finn Balor and gone on in that tournament. And hey, don't forget, Breeze has been in the title picture before. Some would say never really had that proper #1 Contenders matchup. He got kind of screwed out of it.
Regardless of what's happened in the past, a victory tonight for Tyler Breeze would definitely put him back in the championship conversation.
What a week it's been for Hideo Itami, having his WrestleMania moment, appearing in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and that's what everybody here at NXT wants, an opportunity on the grandest stage of them all, Graves.
Hideo Itami is a competitor. He is grateful for the opportunity, but he wants to succeed every time he has an opportunity. He didn't win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. A win here tonight would get him back on the right path.
Right now, needs to get back to a vertical base, try to gain some momentum in this third fall. Again, we are tied at 1. This is 2 out of 3 falls match, missing with the drop kick there. And now Hideo Itami winding things up. Leg sweep.
Right on the back of Breeze's head.
Hideo's a little wobbly, but is in control. Here he comes.
Hideo a little slower than usual. That exhaustion starting to set in. It's been a long match, grueling.
Oh. Here goes Hideo again to the top rope. Lining up Tyler Breeze. Breeze out of the way. What a matchup this has become. My God. Cover, is that enough? Breeze again able to kick out and stay alive in this third fall.
We always talk about Hideo Itami's fighting spirit. How about the fighting spirit of Tyler Breeze?
The momentum is shifted firmly into the hands of Hideo Itami. Look at this. Trying to go for the fisherman hook suplex. Oh,
inside cradle.
Is this enough? Cover. You're right, both competitors do appear to be extremely exhausted, extremely worn out. Sunset flip into the cover. And again, Breeze stays alive, now a cover of his own. Look at this reversal. Itami. Oh, square on the chin of Breeze. Hideo Itami for the third fall, and again, Breeze stays alive. Oh! Supermodel kick, is that enough? Oh! What a matchup!
Both superstars exhausted, both exerting every ounce of energy they have left because of the stakes. It's pride. Who can walk out of here saying that they are the better man?
2 out of 3 falls matchup.
Other than the fact that the king of Cuteville, Tyler Breeze, said if he wins tonight, he's going to annex Japan as part of Cuteville. I don't know how he plans on doing that. That's just what he said.
Hideo Itami, the winner of the first fall, Tyler Breeze taking the second fall, connecting with a beauty shot after playing possum in the corner. It all comes down to this, the third fall. And right now, it is anybody's match.
Breeze to his feet first. It's a massive advantage right now.
Ooh. That may have just fired Hideo up.
Put the intensity on Tommy's face.
It's like he doesn't even feel it. Doesn't even feel the strikes by Breeze, and now Tommy connecting with those patented strikes of his own.
I can assure you Tyler Breeze is feeling those.
Here comes Hideo.
Breeze got out of the way.
Going for the running corner drop kick. Is that the opening? Breeze misses with the beauty shot. Hideo again, here he comes. This time connects.
This is how he won the first fall.
Here comes Hideo, beauty shot. What a counter by Breeze. And that is all. My goodness.
Here is your winner, Tyler Breeze.
Somehow Tyler Breeze outlasting Hideo Itami in this 2 out of 3 falls matchup. Let's take you back to the first fall, Corey, and Hideo connecting with the corner drop kick.
The running corner drop kick followed up by this big right foot to the chin of Prince Pretty. It was 1-0 Japan.
Hideo Itami, the winner of the first fall, and well, Breeze was wobbly, but perhaps playing possum, taking his time in the corner before this.
He outsmarted us all, made fools of all of us. Tyler Breeze evened the score with that kick.
The beauty shot evens things up at 1-1.
And out of nowhere, we thought Itami was going for the kick that he won the first fall with, but Prince Pretty had other plans.
An impressive counter, Tyler Breeze with a huge victory here tonight, winner of this 2 out of 3 falls match in our main event on NXT.